Welcome to the ArcGIS tutorial. I am Abdul বিশ্বাস here with you. I'm from Kulin University of Engineering and Technology. Currently, I'm studying in the Urban and Regional Planning Department. Today, we'll learn about the interface, basic tools, and symbology of ArcGIS. Let's check about the contents that we'll be covering today. First, we will learn about the file types, then attribute table, then we'll learn about the package extraction, drawing toolbar, symbology, then we will move to the adding fields and using field calculator, then we'll learn about the interface and necessary toolbars in ArcGIS, and we'll obviously learn about the Arc catalog that will help us to make folder connections. Now that we know the contents, let's jump to the main lesson. First, we'll start with the file types. In the file types of ArcGIS, we have three types of data. The first type is raster data, and we have vector data, and then we have RDBMS. Let's start with raster data. So in the raster data, we have different extensions like .tif, .img, .png, and .jpg. Raster data usually divides a certain data into grids and pixels. Uh, each pixels has a certain unit and that represents the raster resolution. So in the raster data, we will mostly use the .tif format because of the compatibility issues. The .tif format works fine with most of the softwares, rather the other three extensions. Then let's learn about the vector data. In the vector data, we have different extensions. Among them, the .shp extension actually represents the shapefile. A shapefile cannot be created alone. When we create a shapefile, this all extension will be created alongside it. So a shapefile will create a lot of files in the directory in which you save. Then we will learn about the RDBMS. RDBMS is basically the relational database management system. In GIS, we work with spatial data and attribute data, mostly these two data types. So RDBMS, it basically connects the spatial data with attribute data. In the RDBMS, we have different types like Postgres, then PostG, SQL, NoSQL, and Access. Now we will learn about the Arc catalog and making folder connections. We have to search it first. After clicking, it will take some time based on your specifications. It has already appeared. Arc catalog basically helps us to manage our GIS data. In GIS, we have to work with a lot of files that need to be arranged to work properly. Arc catalog does exactly that. It shows the directories in a certain hierarchy so that we can work more smoothly. Now let's make a folder connection. We have to click this button that says connect to folder. Then we have to locate our folder. I have already located. Done. Now we can see our folder has already been added. After making the connection, all the files that exist in the folder will appear in the software. Like we have some data in the lab data folder. It is already appeared in the software. Now we will see the user interface and some basic toolbars in ArcMap. You can see I have already opened my ArcMap software. So let's start. First, in the left side, we have the table of contents. If you cannot find it, you can simply go to the Windows tab and select table of contents and it will appear. In this section, the data that we are adding will show up as different layers and we can modify their properties and so on. Next, we have this add data button that will help us to add any data to the ArcGIS. Now, let's add some toolbars that are very essential for us. For this, we'll go to the Customize option and then click Toolbars. We'll select Draw, Editor, Layout, Standard, and Tools for our primary purpose. I have already selected them, so I will just go along with it. These toolbars can be moved and arranged as your preferences. Like I have moved the editor toolbar and I can simply drag it here and I can drag it to the bottom side. Anywhere you can move these toolbars anywhere. Finally, in the right we have three tabs. They are catalog, search, and arc toolbox. We have already learned about the catalog, then we have search and arc toolbox. In the next tutorials we'll eventually learn about the others. In the next section, we'll learn about the package extraction. Sometimes in ArcGIS, you will be given some data that are packed like a zip file. To work with those data, you have to extract it first. Here in this tutorial, we will show you how to extract files from a layer package format. For this purpose, we will need to go to the Arc toolbox. So we'll go to the Arc toolbox, then we will select this, the data management tools, then we'll go to the package under the data management tools. Here's the package, then we will click the extract package. After that, we need to select the package that we want to extract, then we'll select the location where the files will be set. Let's locate the file. So this is the package file. We'll click open, then we need to select the output folder. So we'll create a new folder here. We'll name it output. Then we'll click OK, and it will take some time. Now let's go back to the Arc catalog to see if the files are extracted or not. So you can see the output folder here, and inside the output folder we can see some data like common data, raster data, shape files, etc. So you can clearly see that the files are already extracted properly. Now you can easily work with these files. Now we will learn about symbology in ArcGIS. But first we have to add some data. For this we will click add data, and then from the previously extracted layer package we will select some data. Like this is the output folder. We have common data, shape files. We can select all of this by dragging our cursor like this, and then we'll add the data. You can see the layers are already added, but we cannot view them properly. So what we can do is selecting a particular layer and then select the zoom to layer option. So we'll select the important feature layer, and then click zoom to layer. So it has appeared already. Now the layer will be zoomed to the display. Now let's move to the main topic. Symbology is basically a representation parameter for any data in ArcGIS. Now to change symbology of any of the layer here, we need to select the layer and click on the colored rectangle down the layer name. Here you can change the fill color and the outline color option along with the outline width. Suppose we can select this color, but a lake is typically blue, so we can select the blue again. This way we can change the colors, fill colors, outline colors, and etc. But the symbology has a lot of other features as well. To find those features, we need to go to the properties option of any layer. Like we'll go to the properties option of building block 5. Okay, now we'll go to the symbology option from these all options. It is already selected here. Now here is the single symbol option. We have categories, quantities, charts, multiple attributes as well. After the single symbol, we can move to the categories option. The categories option basically categorizes based on the field. We'll see these options later on in the tutorial. For now, we'll just change the colors of different layers and make it better. Like garden is basically green. We can give the building block a tan color. This way we can change the properties. Next, we will learn about attribute table, which is one of the most important options in ArcGIS. Now, an attribute table is basically any information that is associated with our spatial data. Let's open the attribute table for building block 5. We can see that there are some fields, and under those fields there are categories and other informations. Now that we have learned about the attribute table, let's just see what we can do with this. First, we'll go to the properties tab of building block 5. Then we'll go to the symbology. Now in the categories section, we can add symbology based on the layers category. For this example, let's use the category field to differentiate the buildings in the map. So we'll select the drop down icon on the value field, and we select category. Then we'll add all the values. Then we can choose our color empty. I will choose let's say this one. Okay, so now the buildings are divided based on the categories. We can do another task using attribute table, that is showing levels. For this, we can again go to the properties and then level. After going to the level, we can select the field. This is level field. We can select the field that we want to show. Let's select name. Now we will show the names of the layer. Don't forget to tick this level features in this layer. Okay, Now if we click OK, you can see the labels has appeared already. That's all for now. Now we will do some operations inside the attribute table, mostly based on the field. Now let's go to the attribute table of important features for this section. Suppose we need to add some extra informations inside this table. For this we'll need new field. Let's create a new field by going to the table options, then click add field. We will add a field named position. We will set the type as text and keep the rest of the options as default, then click OK. You can see the field is already added. Now the problem is you cannot edit the fields by default. There are two different options by which you can do that. First one is using field calculator. Now let's go to the field calculator. In the field calculator you can type any data, but you must type it inside apostrophe. Let's say Shahid Minar. We know that Shahid Minar is basically inside the quote. We can type in, then click OK. You can see this is added already, but there is another method that is more easier. You just need to go to the editor toolbar and click start editing. Now that our attribute table is already opened, if you double click on any of the cell, you can see the cells are now editable. Now you can type based on your need. Quit hill, it is inside, fill up the rest. Okay, now you have to just save the edits using the save edits button, and it is done. Now if we want to demonstrate the data according to the new field, we can go to the symbology option and choose our preferences. Like I will select the position field, add the values, and let's say we are giving two different symbol. For in we are giving the green circle, and for out we are giving a red circle. So right. Now if we click apply and OK, you can see it is demonstrating the positions based on the category. This is all for now. Finally, we will learn about the drawing toolbar. My drawing toolbar is already showing in the bottom. If you cannot find it, simply go to the customize option, go to toolbars and select the draw. Mine is already selected, so let's jump to the toolbar. By using the drawing tool, we can draw different shapes like point, line, polygon, etc. For this tutorial, we will now draw a rectangle here. So select the rectangle option. Let us draw a rectangle. Okay, the rectangle is drawn. uh, Now the thing is, we can move this rectangle anywhere you want, and we can also resize it. But if we want it to be fixed like the other polygons in the map, we have to convert it to features. For this, we'll go to the drawing toolbar again. Then we will select the convert graphics to feature option. We'll accept the default settings and click OK. Now it is showing a prompt if we want to add it or not. Let's add it and see the differences. Now if we change the color of this layer, this is newly added layer, let's say green, move it, you can see that there is a new green rectangle that is added as a layer, and this graphics here is still editable. So you have learned the drawing toolbar. That's all for now. Now that we have made so many modifications in this map, we must save this so that we can work with these files later. For this, ArcMap has a default extension called .mxt. If we save this file as .mxt, we can simply open this file anytime in this step. So let's save it. Go to File, go to Save As, and locate your folder. Suppose I'm saving this here. I will name it as Wet and save it. And you can see it is showing .mxt. Let's click Save, and it is done. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.